Hello, welcome to my channel Conscious Growing, and I'm Matthias. And today I want to share something that I was mentioning just indirectly in all these videos. And in this one I want to be a little bit more precise. And if you know my channel, everything on this channel is related to anxiety and chronic symptoms. And in most of the cases it's related as well. So the stronger the symptoms, the higher the anxiety. And so we call it then the cycle of anxiety or the cycle of chronic condition. And so for most of us the question is, how do we break the cycle? Because the symptoms and the anxiety seem so strong at times, and it seems unbearable, and we feel overwhelmed and don't know what to do about it. And the higher the level of anxiety, the more it gives us the impression we have to react on this, we have to do something, we have to figure it out, we have to find the root cause, we have to fix it as fast as possible. But if you have been on this journey for a while, you recognize that there's that this is not the way out of it, and maybe even more you're just getting deeper and deeper into despair and frustration and anxiety. And the reason why is because it's a very subtle process and a very subtle thing that's going on in us. So theoretically it's clear to most of everyone that, okay, if I add more fear to the fear, it will get stronger. If I have unhealthy avoidance coping mechanisms, it will get stronger. And theoretically we understand it, but in most of the times we don't behave like this. We're falling back into unhealthy patterns, like avoidance, like trying to get rid of it. And this keeps us in this cycle. And this is so frustrating, because at times you think, my God, I do anything that's possible, and I'm still in this cycle, and sometimes it even feels like square one again. But on one hand, I can reassure you that this feeling of being in square one or on square one again is also part of the game. But nevertheless, you want to find ways to reduce your anxiety. And how do we reduce the anxiety? So my answer is, the only way to reduce anxiety is to build up a new relationship. And so the relationship can be more neutral. And now you might say, oh no, when it's so tough and it's so intense, I'm not able to stay quiet, I'm not able to keep calm and so on. And today I want to share this more kind of neutral approach to this. And it's just some kind of a mindset shift. And by the way, it's the way every spiritual teacher is talking about. And I had this spiritual practice for myself. I trained this even before I had the conditions. But then when the conditions came, I forgot about it because I was so consumed by these unpleasant feelings and sensations and so on. But the further I went in my recovery, this wisdom came back, and this way of seeing things. And to share this with you, we don't have to make a big holy thing out of it, because it's very, very simple, and the attention we pay is very simple, but of course not easy. And like everything we train, excuse me, everything we train is like we train a muscle. Means when you go to the gymnastic place and do your exercises, and in the beginning you will have sore muscles, you will have more pains, you won't see so much progress in the beginning, and you might even think that this doesn't lead nowhere and I don't have the discipline to do it, and then you might quit after a couple of days. And the ones that continue, they build up these muscles, and then after a few weeks, months, years, they see the results, even outwardly. And this is the same like when we retrain our brains from unhealthy patterns, from things that are stored, belief systems that are stored in our subconscious. If we want to train these subconscious attitudes in a new, healthier way, we need some patience and we need some continuous practice on these topics. And this one, the one I want to share with you, is so simple and might be very difficult to train in the beginning, but if you do it, you will get better with time. So the thing is, I'm talking about awareness. I'm talking about space. And I'm going to start with a question. Is there something that's bigger than your anxiety? And you might shout out and say, no, my anxiety is all-consuming and I'm not myself anymore. I don't live the life I wanted to live, and so on. And so then the next question could be, so how do I reverse this kind of attitude? So I'm coming back and say there's awareness. And awareness is nothing other than space. And the awareness can be bigger than your anxiety. It's just a decision in you. So, in other words, where do you put your attention? Where's your focus? And it's very simple. You could say, okay, so there's awareness, and I'm aware of everything. I'm aware of my surrounding. I'm aware of my breath, for example. I'm aware of the pains I have. I'm aware of my anxiety. I'm aware of the emotions I feel. I'm aware of my thoughts. when I look at this, I see that, or I have to come to the conclusion that I'm not my thoughts, I'm not my emotions, I'm not the surrounding, I'm not the breath, I'm the awareness. I'm aware of all these things coming up. And even more, all these things that come up are like clouds and they pass, always pass. So even the most intense anxiety doesn't stay with you, even if you have the feeling I'm totally consumed by anxiety. You have moments of relief. You have moments of a quiet moment. So here we recognize that everything we think we are the anxious person, we are the person that doesn't have a future. I mean, these could be the thoughts that say this. But maybe 10 minutes later you have to laugh about a joke somebody is telling you. Or you watch a funny movie and you're laughing. Half an hour before you thought this is the end of the world. And so coming back to the question, is there something that's bigger than your symptoms and your anxiety? And if you watch this whole thing from this angle, you have to confess that, yes, it's true, this consciousness, my ability to observe things in a neutral way, is one of my capacities. And now here's the point. So if you are dealing with symptoms for a while already, for weeks, months, even years, you build up this pattern of being scared of the state you're in, and all the attention is in this unpleasant state. It's consuming us. Oh no, there it is again. And we have a relationship. And here the suggestion is to stop all these old mechanisms and saying, okay, when I feel anxiety, I can't influence it directly. I might distract myself, it might work for a while, but then you always wonder, oh my God, this anxiety is back again, and I feel it again, stronger than ever. So what's going on here? And then you're frustrated, and then you keep the cycle. But imagine you have a new way to react on the anxiety that comes up, or the symptoms that come up. And what if you decide to be this awareness? So you're just a neutral observer of these sensations going on. So on one hand, you let them be there. You don't run away from them. You don't want to try to get rid of them. You just want to establish a more neutral attitude within yourself. And this can mean that when you want to start to practice this, that the systems will, the sensations will be even stronger for a while. Because now you're not running away anymore. And now you offer some space and awareness. And instead of trying to manage it somehow, or even run away, you are this quiet, neutral, and I would even say this loving energy that allows these unpleasant sensations to be there. And this is self-love. Why is it self-love? Because this energy in us, this anxiety in you, was established many, many, many years ago. And it was never allowed to be there. And now you give a very indirect, but a very clear offer to these old energies to be there. And now we come to the interesting point when you start to practice this. And what I mean is, when you do it every now and then along your day, means you do it for only 5 minutes maybe, or just a minute in the beginning. Just to see, okay, I'm this awareness, I'm this space, everything appears in this space. I don't identify with my thoughts, I don't identify with these sensations. They can be there, but the focus is on the space, and everything is appearing in this space. And by doing this, you create your own space. And so the limbic brain, when it realizes this, it will try to pull you back in old negative patterns. It might scream louder. It might cause more symptoms. This is to be expected. But when you can hold your ground, when you can stay put with these unpleasant sensations, you can make a shift, a slow shift. And it's very important to understand, it's not like you don't hold yourself to, in order to stand these unpleasant sensations. No, you are the space. And, you know, for some people, we are all different. Some of us have religious beliefs. I heard from people that they recover just in their trust in God or Jesus or any figure in their religion. So they were just like, okay, I'm here with all these unpleasant sensations in me, and I give it to you, God, I give it to you, Jesus, I give it to you, Allah. So this is, if this works for you, it's wonderful. And if you have this deep trust, you can transform your symptoms by the help of the Almighty, whoever might be it for you. So this is one of the things. But I believe we don't need this belief, not necessarily to get rid of symptoms. And because when you practice to be this space for yourself, and if you learn to hold your firm ground, then you can shift these sensations for the better. And this needs lots of patience and practice. And I really want to encourage you not to give up too early. Because, as I said, the storms might be stronger at times. But see it as a good sign, because this shows that you are onto something. Yeah, because the subconscious is still in this old mode. It wants to protect you. And if you are less caught up in your own patterns, the subconscious will try out some new tactics. And the more you are able to hold your ground, the more the subconscious will understand, oh, look, Matthias is not bothered by these symptoms. He's going on with his day, he's doing the things he needs to do. He's less bothered. Even if it's intense, he's kind of neutral. And that's all it is. That is the practice. So we retrain our brain by healthy patterns. And at the end of this video, I want to point out something very important, because many people who are dealing with anxiety and chronic symptoms, and when they're in the fight or flight or even freeze mode, they think they have to calm themselves down. I have to calm down. Look, my thoughts are racing. Look, my heart is beating fast. I'm sweating. I have this tingling sensations. I have pains. Look at this, yeah? So we are so consumed, and we think we have to do something to manage this. And then you start to do calming calming down methods like breathing techniques or meditation and so on. And I wouldn't say this is bad, but if this is used to change the state, then your subconscious is really alert, because then you're just manifesting the state that there's something wrong. So you try to fix, you try to do something to feel better and so on. And this will even keep you more in the cycle. So the way I was describing how to work on this, to stay neutral and always come back to neutral, this is the sure and indirect way to calm down the nervous system, because you learn to be bothered less, and the results come indirectly, I can assure you. But the more you try to change things directly, you might have a short relief, but in the long term it won't change these patterns. The patterns change when we are less reactive. And just imagine there is a strong storm of anxiety. It seems to be overwhelming, unbearable. But if you keep this attitude, I'm here, and if you keep this attitude, even saying like, okay, bring it on, I'm here, I have done this in the past, and I'm able to do it again, so I'm here. So then you exchange your inner role of being a victim of your circumstances, or someone who is under a spell of some demons. It's like you take your power back with the most simple tool in the world. And if you do this, you don't need any other things to do, because with time this will peter itself out, and so this chemistry of anxiety caused by adrenaline in your system, it will reduce, because there's something bigger than you, or not bigger than you, it's the wrong description. There's something bigger than your anxiety, and that's your awareness. And that's something you can always come back to. It's like when you are driving a car and it starts to rain, and you have this wiper going left and right, and it's raining. So when you are a starter of driving, you might have difficulties in the beginning, because your eyes will go to the wiper, and then you kind of miss to keep your eyes on the road. So Here you're going to practice with time that you are able to look out on the road and let the wipers go. They're just happening. And so you're not following the wipers, otherwise you would have problems on the road. And this is a very simple example of how this works. And you can use it for yourself. Will it be always easy? No. Will it be more unpleasant at times? Yes. But you will make success. You will have successes while practicing this. And it will lead to being more centered, more indirect. Not this effort. You're not doing your technique to succeed. You're just awareness. And everything appears in your awareness. Anyway. And anxiety and symptoms are just examples. They come and go. When you have a car ride on the countryside, these villages, these houses, this nature is passing by. And you're just the driver. You're in the driver's seat and everything passes. And this is how life works, because then we are much more neutral to life and we are able to be in touch in the moment with the things that surround us. And there we can decide, okay, now this is a good place on the countryside, so I'm going to stop here and have a little walk, and then we are able to make these kind of decisions for our own sake. But the practice is we learn to become a little bit more indifferent. And the side effects of doing this, of practicing this, is that we are more aware of life and the things. That surround us. And maybe then we are aware to see the good things as well. Then we see that someone is smiling at us. So we're not just in under our heavy cloud. There can be some anxiety, but there can also be the awareness of the smile of the other person. And maybe unexpected, I'm able to smile at this other person as well, because I'm more in the present moment. I'm not so consumed from my symptoms. And that's something, and that's maybe everything, because this awareness is available for everyone. Whether you have symptoms, anxiety or not, it's available, always. And it's a kind of a decision. We can't control life, we can't control our environments, we can't control other people. We can try to, but it won't work. But this is something we can decide. We can do. And the more we practice this, the more familiar it is to be just present and let life and all the sensations come and go as they are. This is the highest form of being from my point of view. And it's available. Alright, so I'm going to stop here for today. I hope these words and this video is helpful for some of you. And If you have liked it, you can subscribe to my channel if you like, or leave a comment. And when you're interested to get more from me and you might need some support on your recovery journey, I will be happy to give this support. And I offer a 30-minute or so free first chat. And if you think this could be of value to have some exchange and share your current situation with me, then we can have this talk and see if we can find some modalities to work together. So you just can go on my webpage and then you fill in the form, and you can also take your time and describe your current situations as precisely as you like, and then I have some idea about you already, and then we can look further. So that's it for today, and be well. We talk soon.